Hello, Serge here from the back porch. Clipboard, and we have a question. This is from Earl. And Earl asks, Don, could you once again define how much of a bend the knees should be for all shots? Looking at DJ taking shots in the Heritage videos, it would appear that he is taking only a very slight bend. His legs look almost straight up. I tend to bend mine a lot more, and I'm wondering if this would have a negative impact on getting acceptable distance with all clubs. You use the example of a ball player or quarterback getting set, but this still leaves room for flexible bend depending on each person. You also use the accordion process to get set, but again, this still leaves room to be too bent. With a slight bend, you still need to bend over enough to be comfortable. Any clarification would be appreciated. Okay, Earl, let's see if we can hit some points here. I wrote a bunch of notes, so I'm going to come back to the pad now and then. But I'm going to start off with the last sentence where you said you still need to bend over enough to be comfortable. Okay? Now, I don't like the word comfortable. Comfortable to me is sitting in your favorite chair at the house, in your lazy boy, whatever, and relaxing. A good golf setup is athletically ready. Your muscles are activated, ready to perform. And that's what a good setup position is. I talk about the quarterback position. Now, we've seen times where they get down really, really low. That's too much. The accordion position says your knees and your shoulders go down at the same time until you're into a good posture, and it squeezes the hips out. If you squeeze your hips out properly, there'll be a little bit of curvature at the base of your back, and you might feel a little bit of your muscles, of your hip and your back muscles on both sides activating up a little bit, maybe even tightening up a little. I say that's okay. Now, you don't want to stick them out so much that you're creating tension there, and you can feel the muscles over here starting to tighten, almost to lock up. It's just enough in the accordion that they're out, because this counterbalances the shoulders and the knees being in. I think one of the big problems that can affect finding the right amount of knee bend and/or together with how much we're bent over at the shoulders is that you have the right length golf clubs. If one has clubs too long for themselves, which in many cases today, a lot of people that if you're under 5'9", you might be looking at clubs too long, and that will make you stand up taller, because somehow the mind and the eyes want to see that the club has to be lying flat on the ground. That toe up in the air is not correct. And then again, conversely, if your clubs are too short, like if I was to stand here and have to get this little club to the ground, I'd have to bend over more at the shoulders. And you see, if I just go all shoulders over, the knees go back. If I just go all knees, the shoulders go back. And I think what's important is if you start thinking about where is the weight on your feet at address, will tell you what's going on. If your knees are too straight and you're bent over at the waist too much, your weight will be coming somewhat towards the balls of your feet. If your knees are too bent, which therefore pulls the shoulders back, you'll be sort of into a squatting position, and your weight will be way back on your heels. Where is your weight supposed to be? It's supposed to be right here in your arches. You get ready, you jump up and down, and you come down square in the middle of your arches. You feel equal pressure on the back of the ball pad and in front of the heel pad. Again, athletically ready. And if you come into that perfect, and you stand up and get into the perfect accordion effect straight down, the weight will always be in your heel, into your arches, not on your heels and not forward towards there. So check the weight out where you where it feels pressure on your stance, on your feet. And Earl, and I think that'll tell you that if you're bending too much, your knees, you're going to find out the weight will be back behind the arches and more towards the heels, and vice versa. If you're standing too straight with the knees and bent over too much at the top, it'll go towards the balls of the feet and towards the toes. And so it's important that you have it. So check the length of your clubs. As you know, as I already said, comfortable doesn't get it. We want to be athletically ready. And with those things, I think you're pretty much going to find that good posture comes from athletically ready, and the accordion effect is the way to get it. And always check that your weight is in your arches. Do those things, and you'll be set up better, because we know that a good setup determines a better motion, and good motion hits the ball more solid, straight, and longer to help you shoot those lower scores. Well, that's it for the search for today on knee bend, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.